Welcome to the Under God Project podcast. I really wish I could hear that music because it's one of my favorite songs. Well, it's one of my favorite types of music. I picked that out specifically for this thing, and we're still dealing with technical difficulties. We're kind of new at podcasting if you haven't figured it out by now. But welcome to the Under God Project podcast. That is not my introduction. Together, we are accelerating America to become one nation under God again. For those of you who are new to the podcast, new to the channel, new to the family, the team, whatever, Under God Project is an initiative to invite God into our national identity. We have a series of experiences and activities for families, congregations, and elected officials. We're going to tell you all about that on this podcast and more. But first,
we should probably introduce ourselves.
I think it's a good idea.
Again.
I think it's a good idea.
Just in case people forgot.
Just in case people forgot, right? Or this is your first time, right? Like it's your, it is their first introduction.
I mean, yes.
All these technical difficulties. Did you turn that music off, by the way? Because it was. If it was okay. Well, you guys got to appreciate that. So
the full spectrum of it.
It's blues. It's great.
I did not complain. I like blues. Anyway, we are the Thompsons.
Yes, we are.
Welcome to the Under God Project podcast. I will try to say that without tripping over myself.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I am Jen, and this is Andy.
Hi.
And welcome.
Welcome.
So to tell you a little bit about who we are, if you haven't been here before, or if you have, bear with us. It's never fun to repeat.
Right.
No, so back in the height of COVID, we decided we were too sick of restrictions, hated being stuck in the house. If you know anything about us, you know that we're very antsy. We like to move. We like change, a lot of change. So we decided to hit the road, throw caution to the wind, get into an RV with our 6 family members, so 4 crazy children, and document it. We were in search of faith, family, and freedom across America. And along our way, since we have documented, we have a separate podcast for you. It's called S'mores and Stripes. Go ahead and hop over and take a look if you'd like. It's definitely more fun than it can be over here. A lot more personality there. But
yes, we do. We have a blast on S'mores and Stripes. Just to, it's not a shameless plug because I'm not ashamed of it. Like it is. Well, I guess that's what shameless means, but it is not a shameless plug because you'll probably want to get to know what we're doing over there. So Under God Project is very specific. It is about doing specific things, but us as a family, what the journey has been like, who we are, what the American identity really is, where those pieces come from with all of the culture and Memphis barbecue and the spaghetti barbecue and Elvis and Sleepy Hollow.
There's a lot to go over.
There's just so much. Like it's a blast. We've had an absolute blast over the past couple of years. Mount Rushmore, what are some other really fun highlights, like one-liners?
Sleepy Hollow.
Well, we said, Sleepy Hollow. Headless Horseman is amazing. Plymouth. Oh my gosh, Plymouth. That was a blast.
The fun thing is, we're near done. We have so much more to do. So many more places to go. I think we've said we've been to like 30 states, but we haven't documented all of it. So we have to go back.
Yes, absolutely. We have to go back. It's especially in October. We're absolutely in love with Sleepy Hollow because it's just a fun journey.
But we could go on for days about this.
We do like homeschool unit studies and like just, oh my gosh, it's a blast. We have so much fun. So hop over to S'mores and Stripes to see what's going on over there with finding faith, family, and freedom. We really look at the American identity, and that's where a lot of this journey began because of our travels. We got to see, how America really, what the heart of America really is, and what's going on with it, and how that's dwindling, and yet how so easy it is for us to really make positive change.
Yeah, that's truly what we discovered when we were out there, and we knew that we needed to do something to change that image and to change where the direction of where the nation was going, or at least help it. I mean, we can't do it all on our own.
Right. Well, that's what you're here for.
Right. So we've created a good handful of initiatives and new projects that we know that other people can join in our efforts, and God will bless these efforts. And one of which is the Under God Project and the Under God Project podcast.
The Under God Project podcast. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have a hard time with that one, but we're getting there.
It's late. We've been doing a couple of these. Just so you guys know, Under God Project is a God Bless This American Family initiative. God Bless This American Family is our 501c3 dedicated to reviving, promoting, and preserving faith, family, and freedom across America. It is an educational institute, so we're doing a lot with that. Not all the projects are complete because it's kind of fresh.
There's still so much to work on it.
Right, but we are having an absolute blast with that. And so that means a couple of different things. We'll get into the details of that later. That's not the topic of today.
With Under God Project as well, we should let you know that there is an app to go to. We've been thoroughly working on, and it has made strides. So we're excited to share that. But please go ahead and hop over, sign up, sign in, and dink around. get used to the buttons, get used to all the layouts and everything. It will probably change a billion times. But until then, enjoy it because it's fun.
Bear with us on that. Bear with us as much as you can on it. I come from the technical world, so there's a lot of that was built. Like I know what I'm doing with a lot of things, but there's a lot of things about it that as well. We kind of have to operate on a shoestring in a variety of different ways. So for now, bear with us as much as you can. Try to communicate clearly and honestly and directly, but be patient. It's all a continual work in progress.
Exactly. So if you see anything that needs change, if you see anything that could be improved on, let us know.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can PM me on the app. The app is it's pretty robust. It's pretty good. There's some things about it that need to be there. It's in a constant state of evolution. Right. But we'll dedicate a podcast just about the app at another time. Because there's badges to get, and different types of events or different types of activities that are gamified and all that other stuff. But today, can I jump into what we're going to talk about today?
No.
Okay.
We need to keep talking about the
the periphery.
That word.
We're going to be talking about the periphery today. So today we're going to be talking about how it's made. So,
just to clarify, we're talking about the compact.
Yes, ma'am. I was just about to get into that. So you're absolutely right. So our first podcast was really an introduction. What did we talk about there? Oh, we talked about the kind of the history. Yeah, our fourscore. That's right. So we talked about where we were as a country, how families make America, how it's the responsibility of families and really nobody else to change what we see in our American culture. Right. And then the next podcast, episode 2, was a very long one. So I didn't realize how long that was until we were done. But it was that was all about the plan and what you can do, right? And what we've put together as a starting point, and how we collectively, including the community, including those that listen, including everybody from county to county and congregation to congregation, how we together accelerate America to one nation under God, and some certain timelines that are associated to that, all that other stuff.
So much good stuff in there.
Yeah, it was long. Thank you for bearing with us, but there was a lot to say in one sitting. So
today it'll be a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how it's made, where it came from, basics, ground up. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So where do you think we should start? Do you think we should start with the words? Do you think we should start with paper?
Yeah, let's start with the words really quickly. We're going to have a podcast dedicated to just the verbiage that we've used. Right. We'll bring our writer in, I like to call him our Thomas Jefferson, but he prefers Thomas Paine. If you're a history buff, you know why.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's also my media director, our media director. Dear friend of mine. I mean, the best of friends. He's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human being. And so we hope to. So he'll be on. We'll dedicate our a thing just to that. So I wanted to get that out of the way and just say there's more to come on that. We'll talk about the paper today. We'll talk about the printing, how it's printed. We'll talk about the seals. We'll talk about where we get the frames and what the journey with that's been.
Right.
How the box is made, the contents of the pen, the ink, and all that other stuff. The hand printing. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the shipping. The shipping's pretty boring, but it's pretty straightforward. But that's in there, and then maybe some future stuff. We were thinking about doing like subscription boxes, but I don't know where we're at with that
Some
one.
more just
So
like
that's
conceptual
more-
ideas. So
Yeah, we have
if you decide that you like any of these ideas, let us know because
right. I think by
we could
now, I
improve on
mean,
them.
it depends on when you're listening to it. Maybe now we have some subscription boxes
I
and
mean,
some
this-
fun stuff, you know. So, like, we might have other things.
We
you know,
might
but
have
we do
cooler
have
things.
we do have
This
cool
is true.
merch. I mean, we do have some. I mean, these hats.
I was gonna say you're wearing it.
Yeah, we've got a hat, we've got
Yeah.
some T-shirts, we've got some basic things right now, so you can tell that we're
Super basic.
yeah. I mean,
We're
we've
still
come so
beginning.
far. Yeah, we have
Yes.
so much, but there's so far to go, you know. And so maybe by the time you're listening to this, we've got
Right.
you know a variety. We're completely in a completely different position.
So let's go ahead and jump right in.
Okay.
Let's talk about the
So-
words.
Sure. So the words of the compact, there are I think 12 paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's nine paragraphs. But we the reason why I say 12 is because there's actually 4 other spots. We don't count like
this
the
is true.
ending and then the title and all
Right.
that other stuff. So the engineering part of the words of the compact. Okay. We've spent about 3 weeks and went through 4 drafts, I think. The words of the compact are designed to be non-doctrinally isolative,
Right.
So it's not supposed to supersede or precede your scriptures at all, right? I'm not a pastor. I'm no one's prophet. I'm not a congregational leader. That's not what we're doing, okay? But we're not trying to define doctrine or create new doctrine or anything. But what we are trying to do is to look at important documents, you know, important speeches and important scriptures, and really take a look at what was important to. And when I say important, I mean like more like relevant, right?
Right.
They're all important, right? Especially scriptures. But what would be relevant to, you know, families today, right? And we'll
Right.
talk about how we determine that the family is a gift from God, that our history, our heritage, our family history is important, and how we commit to, you know, making our family's legacy, the good things of our family's legacy, our quest, that kind of a thing. So there's a lot of biblical concepts in there that are generational.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll dedicate something to that. I think that's about as high level as we want to go on
Great.
this cast.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one, let's talk about the paper.
Oh
Now,
my gosh, the paper.
yes, it's huge. I mean, it's behind us. So can I flip this? Can I touch this button?
If it decides to work, you're welcome to try.
Okay, it's a little slow. Like, watch me do this.
They can't watch you do it.
No, like you can't. But this is actually quite large. This is what you would get in the mail. You know,
If it's not caught up, let me just describe it. It's the big picture on the wall in the middle of your screen. Oh, look, you're there. I
there it
see
is.
you.
Hi. So it is, the paper itself is 20 inches by 30 inches. So
Right.
the paper itself is large. The inside of the frame is 24 inches by 36 inches. It's quite large.
Very large.
And then the outside of the frame is like 30
by 40.
30 by 40, something like that. So it's quite large, and it's awesome. The paper itself is handmade paper, but I think that comes from overseas. I'm not sure where that comes from exactly, but we have it's not like it's made in America. Like a lot of other things are made in the US, but the paper. So we got it. I would prefer to have one that is.
And we have a
but
couple
it's
of
not.
things we need to replace with American-made products. And
Right.
if we can find quality American-made products that do the job that we're looking for, we will totally be switching because that's important to us.
Right, exactly. It absolutely is. So the paper is there. Now everything else from there is handmade.
Right.
We had looked at trying to feed it through printers and trying to get it done in mass production. And there's mass production ways of doing it, right? But for right now, I make it all myself in the garage.
Yeah, and I think
Right.
we might ultimately stick with hand printing it.
Right.
Not necessarily in our garage specifically, but
Exactly.
hand print. I feel like it's more personalized when you hand print it
Absolutely.
instead of having it mass
Absolutely.
produced in a machine or whatever.
Exactly. So I'm going to bump over to one of these things here, and I'm going to pull that up. What it is, the process that it took for us to get that is we actually went with a screen printing process.
Yep.
Okay. And so
After a lot of trial and error.
And a variety of different things. Like we could probably show pictures all day about all the different things that we messed up on and things that didn't really work out and all that other stuff. But where we are with it right now is we found a really oversized screen print, like a screen. And it had a DPI levels really tight. I mean, this is probably too much detail for y'all, but those are really hard to find. There was only like 3 in the country that I could find that gave that level of detail that printed, because we're printing something that is it's there's words, right? And they are very let me go from that. Let's do that one. They are the words are very thin,
Right.
and so when you're looking to screen print that, right? Now, one of the reasons why the screen print is necessary is because that paper is handmade paper, and so it has a material to it. It has a texture. It has texture to it. Most printers won't even take them.
Correct.
Right.
It'll get stuck on it.
Get stuck. They just won't even take them.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna rather hurt the printer or hurt the paper, right? And so we wanted the big reason why we wanted to do that is because we wanted those that were using the compact, that were having the in-home family experience, to have just that, an experience.
Right.
A lot of these in-home compacts have kind of been done in the past in a variety of different ways. We've done some of them, but ultimately it's a piece of paper, and then you sign your name and that's it, right? And I get that the words are more important, and the words are important in ours, but just as important as that as the words are the experience that you have,
right? The
memorable experience that you have of gathering around the table. Like, this is not, there's nothing in the world like this right now, right? Like there's nothing that does this, that pulls, pulls God into a promise that you're going to make with each other, that has language that everybody else can use,
right,
that you can adopt, that you take home with a feather pen, and it's an experience. And we really wanted to have that special experience, not necessarily one that brought you back to 1620 and you put the hat on or something like that, but we wanted to have an experience,
the full foundation feeling, right?
Well, so that was part of it. Like, I mean, yes, we did. I didn't want to pull you back in time, but we did want you to think forward with those things of the past.
Right.
Right. So we did want to bring the past forward, so that you and your family can look forward, right? So that's why you're not signing the Declaration of Independence. That's why the experience is not. Or the Mayflower Compact. Right. That's why the experience is not just the Mayflower Compact or some old document that you're signing yourself,
right? Which
would be cool too, right? That would be awesome. Like, to get the Declaration of Independence and then you and your family can sign it. That would be cool. But we wanted something that you could think forward with, right, that was really personal to your family. So there is the promise at the top, which the language is beautiful and it's very awesome. But then there's that center section that we talked about in the last podcast, that is the promises that you make to one another, just like the founders did, where they pledged to each other,
right,
their lives, fortunes, and sacred honors. We do the same thing with a family. Like, especially one of the things that we learned is our children get older, and they're just in the family, right? So giving them opportunities, not just to figure out who's going to do the dishes today and what their chores are, and when they get treat time, when they get going out, when they get to choose the next family vacation, but what promises they get to make for our family, with our family, that we choose to discuss with them, and then we invite God into that promise. Right. And so it's more than just a vision for where we want to be later, but it's a promise to say, yeah, we do promise to always love one another. In the case of our children, what they put on their compact was kindness and love. Always remember kindness and love, and that's something that they can see on the wall. Right. And they've got their handprints and they've got signatures on it, and it's part of this beautiful heirloom that they can have. They're gonna get to fight over that when they're adults, and they get to determine who gets to have it today. So for now, it's wonderful and beautiful. So the paper is handmade paper. The printing is a screen printing process. Yeah. The ink that I use is a self-drying ink, so it's an
Super
air. Yeah. Yes, it is a self-drying ink. It's an air drying ink, so I don't need to use like a special light for it or anything like that.
Right.
It's self-drying. It's non-toxic. The seal. This is the cool part. I don't have a picture of the seal
I'm
on there
surprised we
for us
didn't
to.
have a picture of this.
No,
on
we
here, but
don't. We'll talk about that later because.
They'll definitely be on the app if nothing else.
Oh yeah, you'll see it all over the app. It's already on the app right
Right.
now. Like we've already been posting about that for weeks. But the seals are amazing and they're simple, right?
Do you want to show them?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we've got them right here. Look at this. I forgot to put these up here. Ah.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
as you
Oops.
break the box.
As I tear it. It's okay. It's mine. Okay. So we're gonna go this way. I'm gonna
Yep.
show you these. Can you all see that? Not really.
Kind of.
Which camera would be better? Why don't you try your camera?
It probably won't focus on it.
Oh, you know what? Your
does-
camera's freaking out right now. It's okay. It's a live podcast.
Stinker.
All right. So y'all can't see this right now. You know what?
Here.
Let's try it on the front-facing camera
Let me try this. Ready?
because it will focus. No, that won't refocus.
Oh, you're right.
You're right. Try it on the front-facing camera. That will refocus.
All right.
On
hold
the
on.
center one.
Anyway,
There you
you
go.
get the idea. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute.
It's
get
going to
there.
take a minute to catch up, isn't it? Okay.
You can
so-
see it in all different angles now.
Yeah, hop on the app. Okay. You're going to see better pictures. You're going to be able to see what we do with them and all that other stuff. So what they are wax seals. Okay. So we had a specialty wax seal made. It's a 2-inch wax. It's 50 millimeters, right?
Yeah.
It's a 2-inch wax seal. It has it has the logo and it has One Nation Under God in it. And then we have families across the country make them. We make them, but then other families make them as
Right.
well. This is what's amazing about it. Like, no two seals are alike.
Right. They're all
So
unique.
they are all unique. And on the back, I'm not going to take it off, but on the back, it has the family has signed it for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I put that in there because I wanted this compact to be not just from me, or not just from us, right? Not
Is-
just another product that
Yeah,
you
it's
purchase.
it's not about our family.
Right.
It's about the greater American family.
Right. We are God bless this American
Right.
family. That includes you, that includes everybody. So biblically centered families that want to perpetuate, not just sign a compact in their own home, but then perpetuate those same type of principles and promises. They make their seals. They make seals and they send them in.
Right.
It's very simple. You go to Hobby Lobby or some store. I don't know if I can say a customer. Anyway, you go to a craft store, get a
Hot glue gun.
a low temp hot glue gun, and then you put and they're right next to the glue gun, by the way, the wax material in
Sticks.
there. So just wax sticks. You take it home. It's a simple process. You squirt the gun out. You squirt the
Yep.
stuff out of the gun, right? And then you take the seal and you put it down and you
Right.
wait, and then you pull it off, and then you can take with a special gold or silver pen. What are those
Paint
called?
pen.
A paint pen. Thank you.
Mhm.
And then you color in. Whoops. You color in, the inside of the logo, the color, and when you get through one and then you put another one in, then the wax of the other ones they
together.
exactly
Change and
the colors start to mold together. They change, so no two colors are the same.
Yeah.
No two seals are the same. And each one of the compacts that are given, or each one of the compacts that are sent, each one of the compacts that are bought, are a unique seal is put on them from another family. Here's the reason for that. Obviously, that sounds awesome, right? It's really, really cool. But what's amazing about that, and what that is saying, right where it says "Our family under God," there's another family seal. No two are alike. All of our families are unique. All of our families are snowflakes. All of our families are just like those seals. They're individual. They're unique. They're wonderful and amazing and awesome. As long as we are as long as we are all under God, all of our uniqueness and our unique identities play a role
Right.
in the greater tapestry. So the culture of America, the culture of our one nation being under God, is a culmination of all of our drastically unique identities.
Right.
Right. So our family's just a little bit different from the next family. It's a little bit different from the next family. And sometimes they're drastically different from the next family. And that's okay. As long as we're under God and we're biblically centered, then then our nation is beautiful.
Right.
And it's just as beautiful as and so I think the symbolism there is just, it's not lost on me. It's just a wonderful thing to be able to say another family put their unique footprint, their unique thumbprint on your seal that you get to have, and you get to participate, and you get to do the same thing with someone else.
Right.
It's a very simple thing to do. It's great. We hope to put it in a like a subscription box or something like that,
Or
a little bit later down the
have a
road.
kit to sell that includes the stamp and
Right.
includes things that you can do to make your own, and then
Right.
send them back in so that we can distribute them.
Right. The way that we do it right now is in our travels. We just the families that we run into
Right.
get to participate once they hear it and see it and they get it.
So if you see us on the road and you want to do it, definitely let us know.
Yeah, exactly. So again, no two are alike, just like you and your family is. No two families are alike, but together we can be united, one nation under God, and we can perpetuate that and move that forward.
Right.
So, and pay that forward. So the next thing is the frames. So
That's been a fun traveling journey. Frames has been interesting because, I mean, this kind of goes hand in hand with shipping too. I mean, honestly.
yeah, right.
Like there's been a lot of trial and error here, figuring
yeah.
out that glass is not the best thing to be shipping without the proper shipping container.
Yeah, right. So long story short, but I think we can get into the details if you want. Where we're at right now is we use a made in USA frame company that gives us acrylic
Right.
over the front, which is just as beautiful. The glass is heavier, a lot heavier, like 5 pounds heavier, right? So that increases a lot of shipping costs. But the frames that we get, we first tried to use a common craft store, a very common Christian craft store. I'm not going to use the name. We had great experiences with them. We haven't tried anything wholesale with them or anything like that. In fact, there might be opportunities for that in the future. But we just buying them from wherever we were, right? Buying them all out, right?
All of
That was tricky to do. You had to go buy them all out, and then you had to go to the other one and buy them all out, and then go to the other one, and then you still had just a small amount. But for now, we do use a made in USA frame company that makes our frames for us, and they ship them to us, and that way they're already shippable.
Right.
The process that we were using before, it was very difficult to make sure that the glass wasn't broken. It was actually got very, very expensive
and hazardous.
Well, that was the other thing too, is of course, so we didn't want to do that. So unfortunately fortunately and unfortunately we've changed. Anyway, the way that it is right now is really great. The boxing that we have as well, when you get one, you'll notice that it's got this velveteen. That's not velveteen. It's like crushed velvet. What's
Suede?
the word? Suede. Yes, micro suede.
There's a word.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's like a velvet or a micro suede. That is also handmade. So we make that in the garage. The very package is handmade in the garage. We even just got a strapper. Right, those little
poly strap.
Yeah,
that's unnecessary.
I don't know if you guys are interested in that.
That's more shipping and fun stuff.
Right, yeah. So that's shipping and fun stuff. But we've had to design that ourselves. We've had to design the whole thing ourselves, and so that's been very, very interesting, because when you're working with a certain amount of resources, and you need to dedicate resources to apps and to podcasts and to microphones and to lights and the cameras and all that other stuff, then you don't have those resources for mass production of boxes and things. And so we'll get to all those places, as we go. But, we've done everything ourselves. We've created the boxes. We've created the...
God has blessed every step of these efforts.
Oh, absolutely.
It has been incredible. He has opened so many doors and windows and curtains. Yes. He has been an amazing factor in all of this. So
I was just praying about that the other day, and I don't know if this is too personal or not, but I was just praying about that, and I just really got this strong impression that God has gone before gone before us and really opened up a lot of paths for us.
Amen to
and
that.
we do try to keep and Dad does this part, but we do try to keep a miracle journal where we try to keep that updated. So I mean, it's obvious to see, but we do keep that so that we maintain that sense of divine gratitude, not just a general sense of being thankful to one another, but a sense of divine gratitude. And so we do give praise to God and thanks to God for everything. That's every place that we've been so far, and every miracle and door, window, and curtain that's been opened. So, yeah.
I like that. Door, windows, and curtains.
Right.
It's going to go on a t-shirt. Just watch for it.
Door, windows, and curtains. Okay, so let's jump over to the pen and the ink. The pen and the ink that we use is, I think that's just an Amazon purchase for a mass production. I'm not sure where they come from.
It's a store purchase.
Right, it's a store purchase. So it's not like they're not special, because they are special, but they're not.
We will get
made
specialized ones later. At this point, we
Right.
just do not have the resources for that. So.
It is exactly. It is very important to us to have as many Made in America products as possible.
Absolutely.
And what's more made in America than me doing it myself?
Right.
So we can't do everything on our own. We can't do everything ourselves to provide a rich experience and still keep that somewhat affordable. So the pens and the ink is there to enrich the experience, but it's also the initial step that we can take to get into pen and calligraphy. Right. A lot of painstaking went into what color and what type of pen and all that other stuff. And we thought this would be a great opportunity to do something more tactile. We do live in such a digital age, and so much of digital age is actually very transient. There used to be this thing floating around years ago where no matter what you put on the internet, it was going to be permanent. And I kind of wish that was true, because it's not, right? My whole job has been online, building, systems for architecting systems for major companies that just replace it in 2 years,
Right.
And I'm like, my father's an automotive engineer. Like, those cars last longer than my work, like it's just, nobody's going to see what I do.
Right.
Nobody's going to care.
Nope.
Right. And so I wanted to do something that, was tactile and was going to last a really, really long time. And, providing an entry into calligraphy is part of that, so that's helpful. It's kind of more of a periphery thing. It's nice to have. But we did look at several different inks, several different pens, and there might be.
It took us a while to come up with the right stuff, at least for the temporary purposes
Correct.
that we have.
Correct. And so there are some things on the roadmap of ideas of things that we could further things that we can do and further experiences that we can have. And maybe we do have a Constitution signing experience and a Declaration of Independence signing experience that you use your pens from the compact, for or something like that.
Oh, yeah. We've got a whole bunch of ideas to further the things that we've sent
right.
to your home. So don't get rid of them quite yet. We have
right.
further ideas.
Right.
Until then,
there's plenty of recycle and reuse situations.
Yes.
So those are the pens and the inks. The hand printing, there was a lot that went into that. We tried different types of stamping and different types of painting and all that other stuff. And then there was so much that came from our family that. My mother actually was a strong influence on so many of the different ways that the compact is put together with the hand printing and just a whole variety of different things. But that one in particular was something that was a kind of a stroke of genius, where it's simple glue, simple
Elmer's glue.
Okay, well, she said it.
I did.
Yeah, simple Elmer's glue.
You're gonna see it. It's
non-toxic.
It literally has the label still on it. So
right. At least for now, it does. Right. A simple non-toxic glue, and then you put it down, put a little adhesive down, and then the gold leafing comes on it. The gold leafing is not edible, by the way.
Don't do that.
They sell edible gold leafing. This one's not it. Okay, so just so you know, it's not for cakes.
Nope.
But it's for a good signing
That'd
experience.
be an interesting idea.
That would be a very interesting idea. I don't know what we would do
If
with
you
that.
want to replace yours with edible ones,
That's
you're
up to you.
welcome to go find it.
Those are a little bit more degradable, though. So those do kind of anyway.
That's true.
It's a different
And they
subject.
might attract ants.
Other things, right? Exactly.
I don't know how they get in the frame. Anyway,
I didn't
total
realize
sidetrack.
that was a thing until I went to go buy them.
Really?
And, yeah. We and I haven't talked about this.
I have not been part of that.
No. There's a lot of those little micro decisions that I'm trying to put the things together, and that was one of them where I was like, let's go purchase, and I go out, and then I see the word edible, and I'm like, wait, I just spent 2 hours trying to figure out what's going to go in my Amazon cart. Now I got to reset and go back and find the right ones. Yeah, there are edible,
Good to know.
Anyways, so that's that one.
If anyone wants to make like a cake version of the compact.
It's my county under cake compact. I don't know.
I kind of like this idea. I might track that down. Anyway.
Right. Okay. So how are we on time?
I think we've gotten pretty good ahead of ourselves. We should probably wrap things up.
That's okay. All right.
But this has been good. We've discussed a lot.
Right.
So
I think there might have been a little too much detail, but at the same time, I think it's been pretty interesting to see how far things have come and kind of where we're at with a lot of it. The My Family Under God compact, that one that goes in your home, I think has had the most details toward it.
Yeah.
Our county, again, the language is there, the compact is there, but the home experience, the in-home family experience is something that is a drastic amount of details and drafts and changes have gone into it. So
how many hours do you think we've spent in total on this? On the family compact?
Does that include like, I couldn't count them. I really couldn't, because it's, thousands, I really do think about thousands.
It's been about a year, right?
Yeah, almost, because our first over a year, because our first compact was made in the fall of last year, like October, in Sleepy Hollow. That's where these pictures are coming from. That's it right there. That's in the fall of last year. You can see the leaves, and that we're literally in Croton Point, just north of Sleepy Hollow. That's where it was first made.
Right.
The box that's in, I actually have the box that's sitting in. I actually made that box. Handcrafted the box because I knew I wanted it to travel with us, and that way we could make them wherever we were. Right. So I handcrafted that box, and that took us all summer last year.
Yeah.
So we knew we were going to make the in-home family compact experience last year. So it was about this time last year that it was being crafted.
Right.
And then it's developed. Even since and that was just the paper and getting the compact down, and then finding the screen printing, and then getting even to print and I didn't mention this, but to print the film. You got to get
that's right. The transfer film.
Yeah, it's not even transfer film, but yes, it's a film. It's a specialty film. It's not transfer, right?
I forget what it's called, but yeah.
Exactly. It's a special UV film, right? To get that, you can buy the film, but it's so large.
You have to get it
specially printed
on
an art, because those are the only ones that are wide enough and that have the right ink to get that done. So that is a special thing too. So we've got only one copy of that so far. But so that's a big deal. And so we're not changing the words of the compact for a while, for a long while. So if there's grammatical errors or if there's errors in there, then we're gonna have to deal with it, because it's not changing. So anyway, just to get that thing printed, to get the other things printed, is a to-do. Yeah. Right.
Well, it's good though, because we'll have a really good idea of how to do the next several steps.
Right.
The next several compacts, and all of that's going to be a little easier now that we've been through this entire process.
Right. Oh, absolutely. So it's been very fun. It's been very, very rewarding. Just personally rewarding. I mean, it's been a huge investment on our part, but it's been a huge, definitely satisfying, definitely very, very rewarding. So we hope you all have a wonderful in-home family experience with the compact. We hope that it's something that you can treasure for a very long time. And those that have brought the compacts into their home, I'm really moved by their stories of the things that come out at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
When they open up the compact and they see it and they just go, wow, and then they get into what they want to put on it.
Right.
And I've been, blessed to have been in the room on an occasion or two, and and it's really special, the things that the children come up with that they want to agree with, and there's just enough tactile in there to go, oh, that's cool, let me get the pen out, oh, that's cool, let me do the handprint, oh, let's go, now let me take the pictures. Okay, oh yeah, I want to do the promises too, and the oohs and the ahs, and I mean, it's a beautiful thing, but it's even more beautiful to watch them come together with the promises that they want to make.
Mm-hmm.
And that's and some people choose to pray over it, some don't, but some people choose to pray over it, and that's an even more special thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're really excited about it. The fun part is that the seals, that's also, there's way too many of those. You just keep making them because they're so easy to make, and you just keep
They're a
going
little
through 'em.
addictive.
They're a little addicting, yeah.
Like
So,
eating candy almost.
yeah. So, okay, cool. Well, let's do our send off.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get the.
As always, we appreciate you being here and being a part of our family, and we
Mhm.
look forward to seeing you again.
One sec. Let's go ahead and get this. That's the wrong one.
Do you need help?
I always have trouble with this. I don't know why I do that. I'm the one who put this thing together. Okay. So, what's our send off? I forgot our send off real quick. Okay. So here we go. Sorry. May God bless you.
May God bless America, and may God bless this,
This
American,
American
family.
That was fun. Sorry. Y'all get it.